Hello and welcome back to Champions and Beyond. X-23 has arrived, so I'm going to do this quick video. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. We're going to have a look at the brand new aspect cards that we get within the X-23 Hero Pack going forward, and as I've explained in videos before, we're going to do a deep dive into the actual hero themselves at a later date once we've had some experience playing her, and the first of those videos should be in the pipeline very soon. But today we're going to have a look at X-23. So I have already removed the little sellotape tab. To try and make it a little bit easier to get into. So first of all, what we receive is one of the nice posters with all the additional credits and rules and that sort of thing. Pretty standard for most hero packs. So put the packaging to one side and get into the cards. Now, X-23 is one of those that I wasn't super excited about, and I don't know, potentially I've forgotten what a lot of the aggression cards that she's going to come with are, so hopefully there's some stuff that I've forgotten about and we can kind of find it all together. So as I say, we are going to skip over her signature cards, put that to one side. So the first card that we are going to get is one of the brand new allies, and that is Boom Boom, played by Tabitha Smith. A 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 life, X-Force traded, and she has an action that you can exhaust Boom Boom and add 1 boom counter to her, and then you can discard Boom Boom and deal 1 damage to each enemy for each boom counter on her. So the longer you keep her out, she can just become a massive nuke and nuke the board. In multiplayer, she can be even stronger if you're playing alongside a leadership player that can play get ready on her off actions, or even on their turn, and you can use the actions. You're going to be able to build up those boom counters very quickly within the right builds. So potentially an interesting ally. Rush isn't going to love Boom Boom at all, because she's just going to take too long. So it's going to have to be one of those allies that's correct for the scenario that you have in front of you. I mean, you imagine how insane she's going to be against the 4 horsemen with Age of Apocalypse. If you can just get, 9 counters on her as quickly as possible, and potentially there will be ways, as I say, if you've got a leadership player there as well, even if you could get like 5 or 6 counters and then explode her and take out all 4 horsemen at the same time, could be a really interesting play. Could be quite interesting to see if anyone can do a challenge where you have Boom Boom take out the 4 horsemen once that scenario gets to us. So we then have another ally, and we have Richter, So Richter, as played by Julio Richter. So it is actually a surname. Another 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, with 3 health. Another X-Force traded ally, with a response. After Richter attacks, discard the top card of your deck, deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with you for each resource on the discarded card. Now, great for the likes of Domino that count wilds twice. If you end up putting him in with a Domino. I mean, even against the likes of Ultron, if you go back and play Ultron, him being able to hit Ultron and then wipe every drone out from in front of you is going to be powerful. Again, it's going to be situational, but potentially there are some very early uses there for him. So we then do get a 3rd ally. So the final ally is a 4-cost ally, Shatterstar, played by Gavidra 7. He's a 4-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 4 life, but he does take 2 consequential damage for the thwarting, and he has a response, or an interrupt, sorry. When Shatterstar attacks a minion, engage that minion. If you are already engaged with that minion, then he gets +1 attack. So essentially he's going to be a 3 attack. You use him with the likes of Thor, which he's not a lightning resource, he's a mental, but being able to have another way to engage that minion and bring it into your area and draw the cards. There is a really interesting play there with him. But 4 cost, when you're going for a very aggressive hero, a lot of the high attack heroes do only have a 4 hand size. So a 4 cost could potentially be quite an off-put. The 2 thwart is great, but 2 consequential damage, not so much. Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to justify his cost, really. So after that, we are actually going to get a new aggression event. So we get 3 copies of Critical Hit. This seems expensive for me. So it's a 2-cost event. Play only if there is a side scheme already in the victory display. So, I mean, potentially you're looking at Cable will guarantee getting that side scheme out early. But other than that, there's going to be plays where you don't have a side scheme in the victory display yet, and you draw 2 of these, and they're just going to be dead cards in your hand. So it's not going to be the easiest to get consistently, I don't think. But yeah, 2-cost event, and after you attack an enemy, you just stun it. So this event doesn't even do any damage. You still need to attack the enemy, and you can play this just to add a stun onto the enemy that you're attacking. I think it just seems a little bit expensive for me. Obviously, I haven't played these cards yet, so there may be situations where it really does help you out. But again, I think for the cost, for aggression, when a lot of the time you're going to be playing aggression with low hand size heroes. That it's not exclusive, but a lot of the time you're going to want to, because they have the higher attack. It's a lot of cost for that stun, and it's a difficult one to justify for me at the minute, until we've managed to get some plays with it. We do then get a reprint, so we got our 3 brand new artwork, but 3 copies of Moment of Triumph. So we had this way back, I want to say Wasp's hero pack originally, when there was some overkill stuff there. But after you attack and defeat an enemy, heal 1 damage from your hero for each point of excess damage dealt to an enemy by that attack. Now, 0 cost event. If you're going to be trying to deal excess damage, any hero that does a large attack and manages to get that damage out there does enjoy this, especially if you go and you build an aggression deck around the overkill archetype. These are fantastic cards for the heroes. So we then do get our second for this cycle aggression side scheme, and it is keep them busy. So keep them busy, 1 cost player side scheme, comes in with 3 threat per player. It has victory 0, and it has the new keyword of assault. So assault means that basic thwarts against this side scheme use attack instead of thwart. So it doesn't matter that Hulk has 0 thwart, he can still keep them busy. When this is defeated, the player who defeated this side scheme removes 5 threat per player from the main scheme. Now, potentially this will be blocked by crisis icons, so you're going to have to be careful about when you trigger it. But especially for, as I say, those 3 attack heroes, the likes of Hulk, you're going to want to put this in potentially, get it down, and then if you're going to lose to threat, rather than punching the villain for a turn, you're going to punch this side scheme and just buy yourself a couple more turns to try and get that victory. But I definitely think that there is space for the side scheme, and as I say, it is only our second one for aggression. We'll get 3 copies of a new upgrade called Now I'm Mad. So Now I'm Mad, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. When your hero's remaining hit points are less than half of your hero's starting hit points, your hero gets +1 attack and -1 thwart. So rush decks will like this, because you're just getting that extra damage when you take a big hit. You're not going to want to kind of hang around at less than half hit points, but that extra damage can help push through when you're trying to batter a villain. So I think an interesting card, especially for the rush decks that are out there. So we shall find out with that one. So we then get another upgrade, and we get 3 more copies, and this is the Direct Approach. So it's a tactic card attached to a non-permanent side scheme, limit once per side scheme, and this will give that side scheme assault. So again, sort of side scheme heavy scenarios that you want to take, your Hulks, your Thors, Valkyrie might really enjoy this as well. Any of those kind of characters that like to deal the damage and don't particularly like to do the thwarting. War Machine is another one actually that would benefit from this. But you can add these onto side schemes and help you defeat the side schemes using your basic attack rather than basic thwart. Very interesting card. This is going to open up maybe some interesting plays with side scheme heavy scenarios. So we then go into our basic cards, and we do get another copy of Strength, Energy, and Genius. We get some more reprints. We get 3 copies of Endurance. Now, we've had Endurance twice now. I think we actually had it in the Wolverine pack, and we had it in Miss Marvel way back in the day. The Endurance gives your hero +3 hit points. So very good, very stable card. It's nice to have some more copies of it. So we do get another basic player side scheme, and this is the specialized training side scheme. So 5 threat per player. It is another 1 cost side scheme. Victory 0. When defeated, each player who does not control a specialization upgrade chooses 1 set aside specialization upgrade and puts it into play under their control. Now, these specialization upgrades, they are actually, we'll go through, but they are actually in the back of the pack, but I think that we can talk about them now alongside the side scheme. 5 threat per player. In solo, I think it's going to be very hard to justify using specialization training. It's a lot of effort to put in. I suppose with solo, when you want a shorter game, you're going to put a lot into it for a decent enough payout, but it's whether or not it's going to be worth the payout when you do it. So I think this is going to be more of a multiplayer card. But let's have a look at the specializations. So the first one is Combat Specialist. So again, remember, these are not part of her pre-built deck. I will put them off to one side. But these will be out of play when you include specialist training, or specialized training, sorry, in your deck. So these cards will be off to one side. So it has the linked keyword. So that is showing that this is linked to the side scheme. And your hero gets +1 attack. So very basic. After your hero performs a basic attack, exhaust this card and draw 1 card. It's a 2 cost upgrade in case you end up losing it and you want to get it back out later on in the game. But for your attacker, for your minion slayer, anyone that wants to do the basic attacks is going to love this card. We then have a look at the second specialization, and that is Defense Specialist. Again, it's a 2 cost upgrade. It again has linked. Your hero gets +1 defense, and after your hero performs a basic defense, exhaust this card, draw a card. So if you have a team defender within your party, they're going to enjoy this. Beyond you have to be somebody that likes to do a basic defense for this. Quicksilver, for example, would absolutely love this, almost in any game. So we then get our third one, which is Frontline Specialist. So again, has linked 2-cost upgrade. Your hero gets +4 hit points, and after your identity takes damage from an enemy attack, exhaust this card, draw 1 card. So your tank, really, Hulk. If Hulk can't take the attack upgrade, then he would love this as an upgrade. X-23 herself readies when she takes damage, so extra hit points, and still being able to ready when you take the damage and drawing the card. So it works well for X-23 herself. There will be others, but they're the ones that I can really think of off the top of my head. And then our final one is Surveillance Specialist. So again, 2-cost upgrade. Again, has the linked. Your hero gets +1 thwart, and after your hero performs a basic thwart, exhaust this card and remove and draw a card. Sorry. So that's what the specializations do. As I say, I think for solo, you're putting a lot in for a payout that might not be worth it for solo. I think definitely for multiplayer, there'll be play for them, those. So we do get a 1-cost basic support. So we get IPAC. So play only if your identity has the X-Force trait. Hero action, exhaust IPAC and deal 1 face-down encounter card to a player. That player then draws 2 cards. So, I don't know. Deadpool might like it. There will be uses, and card draw in a card game is king. Being able to get that card draw and give you not only more resources in hand to be able to play cards, but also give you more options is going to be useful 9 times out of 10. Again, until we get a chance to properly play it, we won't fully know, or I won't fully know, how good this is as a support, but it is nice to have an actual X-Force support. And then we get a card that Cable will love, and it's another support. It's a 2-cost support, and it's called X-Bunker. So, as I say, 2-cost support, location and X-Force traded. Exhaust X-Bunker and choose a player. That player then searches the top X cards of their deck for any card. So there is no restriction on what kind of card you want to grab, but the value of X is equal to the number of side schemes in the victory display. So, as I say, Cable will absolutely love this if he can spend a few turns just clearing side schemes, get this out, and then suddenly start searching for his big damage, psionic cards, or even try and find the power of the mind to help him pay for his psionic attacks and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be one that Cable does really enjoy. So, as I say, then we're not going to go through the rest of her kit. So her obligation and nemesis. We then have the stop card with the deck list and everything on the back. And we had the 4 specialization upgrades in the back, and then we have 3 other cards. So we have another player side scheme, a 0 cost. This is the leadership, so this is the second leadership player side scheme that we have. Again, victory 0. It is a 0 cost to get it out, 3 threat per player, and heal 2 damage from each ally. So that is each ally in play. That's not just the person that defeats it. That is everybody at the table. So if you have a bunch of allies out, then it's going to be useful to help keep those around. We do get a justice event, so predictable ploy. So again, this is another one of those cards that we can only play if there is a side scheme already in the victory display. And hero interrupt and a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck. Cancel its when revealed effects. So it's nice to have that, I suppose, as far as a justice player, to help cancel any really nasty effects. For 2 cost to cancel a card, there are definitely cards in the game that you would happily pay 2 costs to help get rid of. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting card, especially when you're playing with the player side schemes. I must admit, I don't build enough decks with the player side schemes. I know they're very good, but I haven't played enough of them with the wider hero pool to really be able to hone in on characters that do enjoy this. Obviously Cable's all about it, but who else will like this is a tough call. So, and our final card that we get in the pack is another 2 cost event. It's the protection card that we get. It is defense traded, so it is anticipated attack. Again, play only if there is a side scheme in the victory display. When an enemy initiates an attack, give your player a tough status card. So again, 2 cost for a tough. It's better than the basic one that costs 3 to give yourself a tough that's got Luke Cage on it. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But in protection, I mean, you have the perseverance that when you flip, you only spend 1 cost for a tough. It does seem a little bit expensive. Again, you're going to have to have already defeated the player side scheme to get it going. This is a tough one for me as to whether or not I like it. I think potentially multiplayer, this will be a very interesting card, especially if your character is able to ready and defend for another player. So a fairly decent chance if you have a good defender and you have desperate defense, so you can defend for player 1, ready, defend for player 2, potentially not get the ready on player 2, and you are player 3. This could help you. This would spend the rest of the cards in your hand, most likely, assuming you have a 5 card hand. Spending 1 for the desperate defense and then 2 for this will mean that you have no cards left going into the player phase, but it would protect you. Again, quite a difficult one. You'd then be able to to trigger Flow Like Water. This is a defense card, so you can help trigger, you know, Unflappable. You could help trigger Hard to Ignores. You could help trigger the Electrostatic Armor. So there is some play. I do worry that the cost is quite high for what you're getting out of it. But that is it. So that is everything you receive, or all the new player cards. As I say, as well as that, you do get X-23 as a fully playable character. But they are the new player cards that we have to deck build for other characters. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my content, please give the video a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to the channel. It does really help me out. And we will have a look at Deadpool. If anybody is watching this in the future, obviously X-23 is the end of Wave 7, along with Deadpool. And the release date for these two hero packs were the 17th of November 2023. So, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy gaming.